Joining us now is John Wu, president of Ava Labs, a platform that helps launch DeFi applications on the Avalanche blockchain. It was very strange. A lot of things that seemed like they were contradictory that Ray Dalio said, like, I own Bitcoin, I think you should own it, but it has no intrinsic value, and it's probably going to be worthless if it gets too big and they put it out of business. So but then he said, but you know what? I'm not an expert. I don't really understand how it works, so I don't really know what I think. First off, can I just ask you, do you think that Bitcoin itself or blockchain has intrinsic value?
Joe, I think that is why everyone's so excited about it. There is actually real utility being shown in the world of cryptocurrencies and blockchains. Bitcoin has now become less and less relevant to the overall ecosystem in terms of market cap to the whole cryptocurrency TAM, if you will. And what we've seen is alternatives such as Ethereum, Avalanche, which is what we're talking about today, where there's actually utility. We have over $200 billion of value in decentralized finance in the ecosystem. You have NFTs. I know you guys love talking about NFTs. There's over $100 million per day of transactive value of NFTs. And back in August, there were times when there were, 1 million per day of NFTs being transacted. And the other thing that people see in terms of utility is that it's no longer just crypto native people who are doing this P2P finance and this weird decentralized finance or creating crazy, digital collectibles. We're seeing traditional finance people very interested in these yields. We're seeing artists, we're seeing companies that license stuff, trying to figure out how to use the NFT in order to improve their business and also participate. Athletes, all trying to create social tokens where they can get in touch with their fans directly. As opposed to right now, basically they have to go pay a place like Facebook or Google to get contacted to their fans. Suddenly you have technologies that can change business models where there's real use cases for not just finance people, for all sorts of people.
It's amazing the utilitarian and the utility of crypto that you're talking about. But getting back to my original question, and I'll try to, I think it's important that we figure this out because people talk about, the amount of energy that Bitcoin transactions use, talk about the volatility of it as a currency so that it makes it difficult to see using it for transactions. But they point to it being digital gold and having an inherent value. And as the dollars get printed and central bankers around the world flood the market with currency, that there's only 21 million, and therefore it actually does have intrinsic value. Do you believe that? If it's not used if it doesn't, you don't go into AMC theaters, which is now going to accept it, or you don't go to El Salvador to use it, does it have intrinsic proof of work value from the way that it's constructed and the algorithms that were originally postulated?
That's what Ray Dalio sees. And that's really the first generation of cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin was a store of value, introduced people to the world of store of value, medium exchange, and thinking of it as Internet of Money. Then you had Ethereum, and Ethereum basically provided programmable contracts on top of an operating system, a distributed operating system, and you had ecosystems developers and users who all care about trying to figure out how to create an application so that there is use cases. But the issue with Ethereum was that it's slow and it's very costly. So finally, the third generation is this new group of, call it blockchains that have improved upon the technology and decreased latency, lower costs, such as Avalanche, and therefore now you have economies. What Ray is very focused on.
They're telling me to wrap, and I understand what you're saying, that it's now evolved into being pretty effective in a lot of different transactions, not Bitcoin, but crypto itself. But back to the original point, does the way that it's constructed in proof of work and the distributed ledgers, all those things, does it imbue it or does it give inherent value to the asset itself, do you think?
Same way gold does.
Same way gold does. Okay. All right. So then why do you think Ray Dalio doesn't think that it has intrinsic value? Do you think he's in a position to know what he thinks?
He's brilliant. He runs a $100 billion
Right.
Bridgewater's $100 billion plus. So for him, the use case is still store value.
Okay. So it's a use case.
To inflation. For others, I mean, $100 billion. Remember, DeFi is only $200 billion. Clearly,
right. Okay.
the use case is not the same as everyone else's.
All right. We'll have you. There's Bitcoin, and then there's things you're talking about that we need to, and then Gensler's got it all to think about, and it's global, everything else. So we'll have you back, John, as a Tiger offshoot, and Andreessen Horowitz. I know Mark was early as well on Bitcoin. I'm not sure he feels the same way anymore, but we'll talk to you again, John. Thanks.
Like that. Thank you.
Okay.